Hey, there's two kinds of pain. There's a pain that leads to the harvest of prosperity in all areas of your life, great relationships, your health is amazing, your wealth is amazing, you're doing work you love. And there's a kind of pain that actually leads to more of the same nonsense that you're currently potentially existing in. Okay. Hi, I'm Rosemary Nonny Knight, RNK for short, and this is the Deliberate live stream. I equip people to prosper in all areas of their life. Okay. Now, something I was reading this morning was, now all discipline seems to be more pain than pleasure at the time, yet later it will produce a transformation of character, bringing a harvest of righteousness and peace to those who yield to it. And I got to thinking about how I was actually speaking to a client yesterday, and there's this, and for all of us, there's this, sometimes this avoidance of the pain of transition. This knowledge that things need to change inside of us, but this knowledge as well that we don't actually want to go through the discipline of change. We say we do. It's like I put out posts at times and everybody's, hell yes, 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 I want that. Yeah, spirit-driven people, take over the world. Woohoo, we're going to do it. We're going to impact and influence. But then in the face of everyday life, there's this feeling that, you know what, the pain that I'm living in right now is more comfortable than the pain of transition. Because I don't know. That's what you might think, is that you don't know that you're not going to go through the pain of disciplining yourself and changing your way of looking at life. And it may not result in anything because you're so immersed right now in a world where you just do what everybody else is doing. And I don't say this as an insult. It's where I was for a long time. And sometimes, and unfortunately, as much as I can talk about getting to the other side and the harvest of being on the other side, you actually have to make the journey. You actually have to do the transition. This is where the deliberate life comes in. You actually have to move. And sometimes people find it really hard to commit. They are in pain right now, but this pain is more known than the pain of transition. And so they stay stuck in place, waiting, hoping that somehow things will just change by themselves. But it never happens. Things generally tend to stay the same or get worse, mostly get worse. And more importantly, inside of you feels worse. The more time passes by and you're not doing anything to move yourself forward, the pain that you're living in increases. It may look like you have it all together on the outside, but there's a part of you that knows that you're called and born for something more. And yes, I talk about how life can be easy and how life can be fun because this is truth. However, I recognize that there is a transition time. I mean, it took bankruptcy and depression for me to finally wake up from my stupor, basically, to finally decide to get on the deliberate life path, to finally decide to get the support that I needed. But before that, of course, I was saying, yes, absolutely. I was one of those, very active in my church at the time and jumping up and down. Absolutely going to change the world, man. I'm a history maker. All of that. And yeah, I am still all of those things, except finally I decided to get over my nonsense and go through the transition. And I still go through the transition, but it's so, because how do I explain this? I know the harvest. But in order for you to experience the harvest of prosperity, there will be a transition period. I know it would be easier if there was some kind of magical button to push and then suddenly everything is perfect and easy. But the truth is, life is supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be complicated. I say this all the time. It is supposed to be fun and adventure, but you will have to let go of your current way of doing things very deliberately. You'll have to let go of the way you think about things very deliberately. You will have to choose to do things differently, very deliberately. People sometimes want to know the hows and the, oh my gosh, which one should I do? How should I do it? And it's like, you haven't committed yet. It doesn't matter, any of that. None of that matters because you haven't yet committed to be deliberate about the design of your life. You have bought into the vision or the story that this is the way it is. Because everybody around you lives that way. And that's the thing about becoming a deliberate person for real, is that Not many people around you are doing it. You may feel alone, especially if you choose to try and do it alone. Not many people find it that easy to do, which is why people like me exist, because yeah, we create communities where you and others can do things together. You can work with me to make it happen, to help you see that there is a different way, especially in the dark times when it feels a bit like, is this actually getting me anywhere? But this is the thing, I'm speaking to people who already inside of you, you know that there's more for you. So I'm not telling you something that you don't know. It's just maybe you haven't committed yet. Maybe you haven't committed yet. Because yeah, I know for the last 30 more or plus years, you've been living a certain way. Maybe you went through your 20s, started to learn to discover who you are and thought that it was going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy, but then things happened. You started to lose a sense of who you are, except there's still that call, that desire inside of you for something more, but you're scared of the pain of it. You're scared of the discipline of changing your mind. And so you never quite commit. And so you're always in this limbo land of, I'm in pain where I am, but this pain at least I know, as opposed to the pain of going through transition, supposing it leads nowhere, supposing everybody around me is right and I'm wrong, and I'm just supposed to be satisfied with a crazy, boring, low-level depression kind of life. Really, even when you hear me say that, does that sound right? Does that sound right? That you have to settle? That you have to settle? Really? Honeys, you are one with the divine, created in the image and likeness of the divine. You are powerful. You are limitless, except you have studied limitedness. You have immersed yourself in being limited, in being powerless, in feeling like you have to live to please other people, in feeling like you have to just be part of the crowd when you don't. But yes, there is a transition, and that transition sometimes comes with a little bit of pain. But this is the thing. It's like, I always liken it to giving birth to a child, which if you're a male, you may not get that, but I do, because there is pain of birthing a child, but you know it's going to lead to a child. And so therefore you're willing to do it. I mean, you see mothers doing it over and over again. Or there's a chronic pain, which never ends, which doesn't get better. You know, you get to 70, 60, 70, 80, and you realize, oh my gosh, why did I not just go through the pain of transition so that I could live and see the result of a harvest of prosperity in all areas? Come on, make the decision to transition. Ooh, I like that. Make the decision to transition. Ultimately, it may not feel easy at the start, but the truth of the matter is that life isn't easy for you right now. It feels like you're stuck in the wrong life. So this is my invitation to you. Come and join the Deliberate Life Club or community or whatever you want to call it. I decided it's a club. You do that by taking part in the 14-day miracle experiment. Okay, it's $1. Okay, you start there. Learn to open up to prosperity. Choose a different path actively. And it's at rosemaryandonnionight.com/14-day miracle. All the information is right there. Go join in. Rosemary, if I can type right, rosemaryandonnionight.com/14-day miracle. Go join in. If you have already done that, then the next level for you would be remember who you are. Okay, that is something that I'm doing right now. Ooh, it didn't come up. Oh yeah, there it did. It is something I'm doing at the moment. Depends on when you're listening to this, but it will still be available to you anyway. It's rosemaryandonnionight.com/remember who you are. Because frankly, it's time for you to stop being stuck in situations or in a life that doesn't feel great to you, okay? It doesn't, you know it doesn't feel great to you. It's because you've forgotten who you are. You've forgotten the power inside of you. And I want to remind you, I want to wake you up to your true design, because it's only in your true design that you're actually going to find true happiness and prosperity and fulfillment and abundance and freedom, okay? It's only as you start to live in your true design. Every other way just makes you feel out of place, makes you feel like no one gets you, because no one gets you, okay? There you are trying to fit your square, awesome self into a circle-y hole. Stop it. Remember who you are. And you are here on this planet at this time for a reason, so it's time to get past some of this nonsense. Will you make the transition, okay? It's rosemarylonyournight.com/remember who you are. If you've already done the 14-day miracle. If not, start with the 14-day miracle experiment, okay? Okay, it's time to get deliberate about the design of your life. Until the next time, my honeys, please share this with somebody else. Much, much, much amazing, amazing love. Bye.